is every bet I placed at UFC Noche. Let's get started on the fights that I do not have a bet on. Unfortunately, there are 14 fights on this card, and I don't have a bet on a lot of them, starting with Alessandro Costa and Alden Correa. I have Costa to win by decision. I do see a world where Correa could win by KO, but it's short notice. Guy's making his UFC debut. Costa's minus 500 at flyweight. The only way I would bet that is Correa moneyline, but I don't really feel like doing that. Diego Lopez and Gene Silva, the main event. If I were to bet this, I would take Gene Silva by decision. That's sitting at like plus 400, but I'm not overly confident in that. This is Gene Silva's biggest jump up in competition to date. Diego Lopez just fought Volk. I could see a world where Lopez wins a decision. He wins by sub. I can see Silva getting the KO. I can see Silva winning by decision. Way too many outcomes for me to pick either side from a betting perspective. Tatiana Suarez and Amanda Lemos. I think Suarez dominates Lemos in this one, but Suarez is minus 500, and it's women's MMA. So I would have to parlay her, and I don't think I want to do that. And then also Jared Gordon and Rafa Garcia. I do like Jared Gordon. I am interested in him as a parlay piece, but at minus 240 for a guy that is going to go to decision at a very high clip, I don't think I want to parlay that either. We're skipping even more fights with Claudio Puelles and Joaquim Silva. I just think this is a weird fight. I mean, they both have not fought in over 14 months. Claudio Puelles, we know he's a knee bar merchant. Joaquim Silva, we don't really know what he's good at, to be honest. So I have Puelles to win by a weird decision, but not confident to bet either guy. I don't trust either guy. Alexander Hernandez and Diego Ferreira. I was tempted to bet Alexander Hernandez, but the more I think about it, I just don't trust Alexander Hernandez. As a big underdog, he cashed 3 weeks ago, and now he's turning around 3 weeks later. He's fighting the most ferocious power puncher he will have fought to date. Honestly, the guy with the most KO power is Diego Ferreira. And he has great jiu-jitsu too. So if Hernandez shoots takedowns, there's a chance Ferreira can find the sub. I think this fight can go a couple different ways. I like Hernandez mainly because he's 32 and Ferreira's 40. Ferreira looked really slow against Grant Dawson. So I think Hernandez will win by decision. But not confident enough to bet that. Kelvin Gastelum and Dustin Stoltzfus. I think this is a slam dunk Gastelum decision win, but he did just miss weight by 5 pounds, and it's just screaming weird fight. Stoltzfus is a win-loss fighter. No idea why he's even in the spot to be fighting Kelvin Gastelum. I would have to parlay Gastelum. A Gastelum Jared Gordon parlay. That's a suggestion, but I don't feel like doing that either. And then also Alice Pereira and Montserrat Rendon. I mean, Pereira's 19, Rendon's 36, Rendon's 6-1. All of her fights have gone to decision. She's going to try to go for takedowns here. I just simply don't know if Alice Pereira will be able to defend the takedowns. If she can, she wins this all day. She should look minus 1,400. But she's making her UFC debut. She didn't go through tough. She didn't go through contender series. Minus 140 is a good betting line, but I just didn't feel like putting a bet on that either. We're skipping 2 more fights, all right? I'm sorry. Most of this video is going to be explaining why I don't think this is a good betting card. We got Zach Reese and Cedric Dumas. I think this has meme fight written all over it. On paper, Zach Reese should be able to Mikhail Oleksiejczuk Dumas. He should be able to knock him out in the first couple minutes if he just presses forward and fires like he usually does. But I am concerned if Dumas gets 1 takedown and lands 1 ground and pound elbow. I am concerned Zach Reese's chin is complete dust, and just 1 touch of it will make him go to sleep. So Zach Reese, minus 240, insanely hard to trust as a parlay piece. Cedric Dumas, there's no chance I'm betting him ever. Again, I've done it before, but I won't be doing it again. Jose Medina and Dusko Todorovic. It's only right that I put these 2 in the same slide. I mean, I'm not betting Jose Medina. He's never shown me anything in the octagon that would make me think he can win a fight. And I'm not betting Dusko Todorovic at minus 300 in a parlay because he's just on a 3-fight losing streak, and he's losing to mid, and more mid competition. So don't like either of these from a betting perspective either. But I am going to be betting Rodrigo Sezinando taking on Daniil Danchenko. Now, based on my former logic, you might be saying, Finz, why are you betting a fight between 2 debutantes in the UFC? Well, I'm doing it because I'm betting the underdog. Rodrigo Sezinando, 2 units, plus 168. We don't have a lot of bets on this card, but the bets we do have are pretty high. 2 units plus 168. I think Rodrigo can get takedowns in this fight. I think the only way Daniil wins is a first round KO. That's how he won one of his tough fights, and in the other one, he almost lost by decision after nearly knocking out his opponent in the first round. So Sezinando, I think if he just avoids the early onslaught, he should be able to get takedowns. He should be a power puncher as well. He can win by knockout on the feet. He can win by submission on the ground. I ultimately think he's going to win by decision. We're also betting Jesus Aguilar and Luis Gurul. Luis Gurul minus 200 at flyweight, number 1. That's just not a good line. Luis Gurul is 0-1 in the UFC. He lost to Ode Osborne by knockout this year, I think like 3 months ago. Luis Gurul also got to the UFC because he was a huge underdog against Nick Piccinini and just outlanded him and just defended takedowns and got up. And Jesus Aguilar has UFC experience, right? He's going to be the Mexican fighting at UFC Noche, and he's going to have a savage guillotine if Luis Gurul shoots lazy takedowns. I think he's going to have power on the feet against Luis Gurul. I think Aguilar will even shoot his own takedowns in this fight. I see a lot of paths to victory for Jesus Aguilar, which is why I'm preparing you. Just get ready. There's a large bet coming your way on the screen. Jesus Aguilar money line 10 units. It's not often I'm firing a 10-unit play. The last 10-unit play was a Sean O'Malley, Chaos Williams moneyline parlay. That obviously didn't hit. We also had a 10-unit play on Zach Reese against Azamat Bakoyev as a plus 150 underdog. That did not hit. So this is going to be, I think, our third 10-unit posted play on our Bet MMA. We're going with Jesus Aguilar. Usually when you do a 10-unit play, it's on like a minus 400. I'm out here doing it on plus 170s. I'm pretty confident in this guy. I'm not making him the Finz Hammerlock, though, because the Finz Hammerlock is a mush. It's a fade material. The 10-unit play, though, I'm hoping that it turns out profitable. We're also betting Santiago Luna and Kang Lee. I think Santiago Luna, although it's his debut, is going to go out there, fish for takedowns, succeed on the takedowns, potentially finish Kang on the feet as well. I think he has a lot of paths to victory. I'm going with Santiago Luna, 2.68 units on his minus 134 money line. I also even threw a half unit on his submission plus 700. So if Luna goes out there and does what he has been doing in his recent fights, which is chase takedowns and get Kang Lee to the ground, I think he will find the sub. I don't think Kang Lee's anti-grappling is the greatest. I don't think his chin is the greatest. I think Santiago Luna as a parlay piece is a great idea. I think betting his money line is a great idea because he can win by all 3 methods. But I'm going with the longiest long shot method, Santiago Luna SUB. Plus 700. The final fight we're betting is Rob Font and David Martinez. I see all the public sheep saying, oh, David Martinez is actually going to be the prospect that defeats Rob Font. I'm going to stop you right there. Rob Font is the prospect killer. He just beat Gene Matsumoto, gave him his first L. He just beat Kyler Phillips. And then before that, he's had some pretty good unk performances. He beat Adrian Yanez as well. If this stays standing, Rob Font tends to win striking exchanges against prospects. David Martinez has 0 sub wins, 0 sub losses. You don't really see him shooting for takedowns in this fight. If anything, I think Rob Font will actually be able to get to the takedowns in this fight. So for all those reasons, we've thrown 2.44 units on minus 120 Rob Font money line. And as for the Finz Hammerlock, like I said, this is a weekly fade at this point. I believe we're on a 6-week losing streak, picking weekly underdogs. 24-50, I think, is the overall record. So in theory, we kind of are just a little negative. Even though we're 24-50, we're picking like plus 150, plus 200 dogs. So if you consider that in the 24 wins, we're not down that bad. But we're still going with Rodrigo Sezinando as the Hammerlock this week, plus 168. Obviously, this is strange, considering I have 10 units on Jesus Aguilar. I have 2 units on Rodrigo. You would think my more confident bet would be the Finz Hammerlock, but at this point, I know what's going on here. The Finz Hammerlock is a fade. So I am confident Rodrigo wins. I gotta pick an underdog. But I don't want to lose 10 units on it. I need the Finz Hammerlock to start racking up wins again, and then I would put someone like Jesus Aguilar as the FHL. But for now, we're going with Sezinando. And of course, I have an insane long shot for you. It's not necessarily a cycle, but it's 3 legs I like a lot. We're going with Jesus Aguilar by sub. I think he's going to find the guillotine against Luis Garul. It might be a meme take, but I think he's going to do it. Santiago Luna by finish. I was tempted to do him by sub, but if we're trying to keep a cycle going, I'm taking him by finish. I think he can also win by KO on the feet. And then Gene Silva and Diego Lopez. This is a fight I didn't really discuss in full detail, but I like the over 3.5. I think this fight goes all 5 rounds. I respect both fighters enough to think their durability holds. So plus 220, fight goes a distance. You throw $12.50 on this parlay, you win nearly $1,000. All right, you're basically what 700? What's the math here? 70 and a half xing your money. So I like this parlay. And here are all our bets. We got Rob Font, Santiago Luna, Rodrigo Sezinando, Jesus Aguilar. We bet all their money lines. We even threw all their money lines into a parlay that's plus 771, excluding, who are we excluding here? We're excluding Rodrigo Sezinando in the parlay. And we also have a half unit on Luna SUB. This can go horribly wrong. I mean, if Aguilar loses, we're immediately down 11 units. And if every other bet hits, we will still probably be negative unless Luna SUB comes through. So Aguilar losing would make us negative. So I'm just throwing it out there. But Aguilar winning would immediately make us positive. This is going to be an interesting week.